I thought it would be nice to show you the artisanal cheese croquettes that I'm serving on my Thanksgiving menu. This is an effortless, easy recipe that you'll see will take in and around 5 minutes to make, depending on how many of these you actually make. I call them cheese croquettes. First, I'm gonna take this drunken goat cheese. This is the Spanish goat cheese. They call it drunken goat because they take a whole wheel of the Spanish goat cheese that's been aged for in and around 12 months, and they submerge it or bathe it in red wine. So I have about a cup of grated drunken goat cheese. I'm gonna take 1 egg, dice of half of a shallot. I small diced shallots because we don't want an overbearing onion flavor in our cheese croquettes. You want to actually taste the cheese. So this is just a little bit of a background. And then we're going to use a pinch of salt. We're going to mix all that up together and make a cheese and egg paste. I have all-purpose flour with a teaspoon of baking powder. The flour is going to allow the cheese and the egg to combine. The baking powder is going to make them float when we fry them up. And then we just mix it around and bring it all together so that we have the consistency of a bread dough, let's say. All right, after that, easy as 1, 2, 3. We're gonna take a small amount of croquettes and make little meatballs out of it and then pop it into the flour. Nobody can just eat one, so we're gonna make a couple of them. So you can have 4 small people over and they can enjoy this, or eat them yourself. We're gonna roll the croquettes in the flour. It doesn't matter if they change shape on you because they're still soft, and we can remold them into balls or little footballs or whatever shape you want. You wanna make happy faces, make happy faces. All right, and that's what a cheese croquette looks like before we fry it. I have the availability of a fryer later, so that's where I'm gonna do it. At home, maybe you wanna take a small saucepan, fill it with canola oil at about 350 degrees, and we're just gonna drop them in. So now, we're gonna come over to my fryer later, and we're gonna reform our cheese croquettes into balls. We put them into the fryer basket. You wanna dust off as much of the flour as you can, because all it's gonna do is cake up on your cheese croquette, and you're gonna miss the most important part, the cheese. That's gonna take about 4 minutes. Because they're round, we need to get the heat to the center of those croquettes so that when we bust them open, they ooze. See how they're floating? That's the beauty of baking powder. Now we're gonna cook those 4 minutes till they're golden brown. Might have to move them around. Yeah, it's hot, of course it is. But I'm a chef. So, 4 minutes later, it's all right if you go a little further. Just want a nice golden brown. Pick them up out of the oil. Let them drain for a sec because you don't want all that hot oil on your plate. See how they've doubled in size and they've plumped up? That's telling me that the cheese inside is ready to come outside. Now we just need something to dip them in. I made a tomato vinaigrette that we're gonna use to dip the cheese croquettes in. It can be anything. You can get a fruit puree, you can get a tomato vinaigrette, you can even take some ranch dressing out of your refrigerator door because everybody has ranch dressing. This is what I'm talking about with the ooze. Yeah, you see that? That's the sign of a good croquette. I put it into a ramekin so that we could dip the whole thing in. Every bite is a beautiful thing. One more palatable orgasm to grow on, baby. Thanks for watching.